Hey everyone, welcome back. So, the other day I was watching this tiny little ant carry a crumb that was like 10 times its size, and it got me thinking. We see ants all the time, they're literally everywhere, but we usually think of them as these tiny, insignificant creatures. But what if I told you that some ants are so big they could give you a serious case of the heebie-jeebies? We're talking ants that are longer than your thumbnail, ants with jaws that can deliver a painful bite, and ants with stings that are legendary for their agony. These aren't your average picnic crashers. These are the heavyweights of the ant world. It's a fascinating corner of the animal kingdom that we just don't talk about enough. The engineering behind their massive bodies, the complex societies they build, and the sheer power they possess is something straight out of a sci-fi movie. So I did what I always do when I get curious. I dove headfirst into a rabbit hole of research to find the biggest, baddest ants on the planet. And what I found was so cool, I knew I had to share it with you guys. Ever wondered just how big ants can get? Today, we're counting down the top 5 biggest ants in the world. We're going to look at their size, their unique behaviors, and what makes them the titans of the Formicidae family. Get ready to have your mind blown and maybe look at the ground a little more carefully from now on. Stick around to see which giant ant takes the #1 spot. Let's get into it. Kicking off our list at number 5, Hercules carpenter ant, Camponotus herculeanus. Don't let being number 5 fool you. They're seriously impressive. Found across the northern hemisphere, North America, Eurasia, thriving in cooler forested environments. They're a type of carpenter ant, which hints at their lifestyle. And trust me, it's pretty destructive. Queen size up to 18 millimeters. That's about 0.7 inches, is roughly the width of your pinky finger. Workers are smaller but chunky. They come in different sizes by job. Major workers or soldiers have huge heads and powerful mandibles for defense and for chewing through wood. They don't eat the wood. Instead, they excavate it, tunneling through dead or damp wood to make smooth galleries. Think miniature wooden fortress from the inside out. They're the lumberjacks. They're the construction workers of the ant world. This helps break down decaying trees and return nutrients to soil. But it's bad news if they move into your house's foundation. So how do they do it? Brute force plus precision. A worker grabs a wood fiber with its mandibles and pulls, using its whole body as leverage. They build a network of tunnels and chambers to house the queen, the brood, thousands of their sisters. Nature's demolition crew, a masterclass in cooperative engineering. Even the smallest giants can have a huge impact. All right, for our number 4 spot, we're traveling to Australia, a continent known for its, let's just say, intense wildlife. And this ant is no exception. Meet Myrmecia gullosa, better known as the Australian bulldog ant or the inch ant. These ants are big, they're bold, they're incredibly aggressive. If you see one, your best bet is to slowly back away. Seriously, they'll chase intruders away from their nests. Workers can grow up to 25 millimeters, a full inch. Queens can be even larger, over 30 millimeters. They have massive serrated mandibles. They also have a powerful stinger capable of painful venom. Unlike a honeybee, they can sting multiple times, and they will not hesitate to do so. Bulldog ants have enormous eyes. Most ants use chemical trails and touch, not vision. These ants can spot movement from several feet away. They actively stalk their prey. They'll lock onto a target, a bee. They'll lock onto a target, a spider. Then they pursue it with relentless determination. It's like watching a tiny wolf. If you get too close to their nest, they will see you, and they will come for you. They can even jump. They launch themselves with jaws wide open, ready to bite and sting. There are documented cases of stings causing anaphylactic shock in humans. They're solitary hunters, unlike most ants that forage in lines. A bulldog ant goes out alone, finds its meal, and drags it back to the nest single-handedly. Now, for our number 3 spot, we have an ant that is world famous, but for all the wrong reasons. This is Paraponera clavata, the bullet ant. If you've ever heard tales of the most painful insect sting in the world, this is the creature they're talking about. Found in the humid rainforests of Central and South America, this ant is an absolute unit. Just its appearance is enough to be intimidating. They are robust, blackish red, and look like they're wearing a suit of armor. The bullet ant can reach lengths of up to 30 millimeters or 1.2 inches. They are one of the largest ants on the planet. They have powerful jaws, a menacing look, but their true claim to fame is their sting. The name bullet ant comes from the feeling of being stung. Victims say it's like being shot. It's a deep, throbbing, all-consuming pain lasting up to 24 hours. The entomologist Justin Schmidt, creator of the Schmidt Sting Pain Index, rated it the most painful sting he's experienced. He described it as pure, intense, brilliant pain, like walking over flaming charcoal with a 3-inch nail embedded in your heel. So what makes this sting so uniquely terrible? It's all about the venom. They inject a potent neurotoxin called ponerotoxin. This toxin targets the central nervous system, firing extreme pain signals continuously. It's so effective that some indigenous tribes in Brazil, like the Sateremawa people, use these ants in intense initiation rites. Young men must wear gloves woven with dozens of living, angry bullet ants for 10 minutes at a time, enduring hundreds of stings. They have to do this 20 times to complete the ritual. Despite their terrifying defense mechanism, bullet ants are not typically aggressive unless their nest is disturbed. They are foragers, often climbing high into the canopy to find nectar, small arthropods. One cool behavior, they emit a loud, audible shriek when distressed. If you pick one up with forceps, it will scream by stridulating, rubbing parts of its abdomen together. It's a clear warning. Put me down, or you're going to have the worst day of your life. Coming in at a very close number 2 is Camponotus gigas, also known as the giant forest ant, or the Malaysian giant ant. And when they say giant, they are not kidding. These ants, found in the rainforests of Southeast Asia, are absolutely massive. The major workers, the soldiers of the colony, can regularly reach up to 30 millimeters, or 1.2 inches in length. They are tied with the bullet ant for the title of the world's largest modern ant species. It's like looking at a small, 6-legged tank. What's fascinating about Camponotus gigas is their dimorphism. This means that within a single colony, the workers come in 2 distinct sizes. You have the huge major workers with their massive heads and mandibles built for defense and heavy lifting. Then you have the minor workers, which are about half the size. This division of labor is key to their success. The big guys guard the nest and foraging trails, while the smaller, more nimble workers focus on collecting food and caring for the young. Unlike some of the other aggressive ants on our list, Camponotus gigas is actually quite shy. They are primarily nocturnal, coming out at night to forage for food like honeydew, nectar, and insects. During the day, they remain hidden in their complex nests, which can be huge, often spanning multiple trees and consisting of an intricate network of tunnels in the soil and decaying wood. A single colony can contain thousands of individuals, creating a superorganism that has a significant presence in the forest. One of their most interesting behaviors is their ritualized combat. When 2 Camponotus gigas colonies meet, the major workers engage in one-on-one battles that are more like a wrestling match than a fight to the death. They'll grab each other with their mandibles, try to flip each other over, and even spray formic acid. However, these fights rarely result in serious injury. It's more of a display of strength to establish territorial boundaries. It's a surprisingly civil way for giant armored ants to resolve their differences. Camponotus gigas is a perfect example of a gentle giant. They possess incredible size and power, but they use it primarily for defense and maintaining their complex society rather than for overt aggression. Their role as nocturnal decomposers and nutrient cyclers is vital to the health of the Southeast Asian rainforests. They are the silent, massive gardeners of the jungle floor, and for their sheer size and fascinating social structure, they more than earn the number 2 spot. And here we are at the number 1 spot. The undisputed heavyweight champion of the ant world. So, who takes the crown? Dinoponera gigantea, the giant Amazonian ant. The name literally means terrible giant ant. Found in the rainforests of South America, the largest ant species on average. Females regularly exceed 3 to 4 centimeters or up to 1.6 inches. What's truly unique is their social structure. Most colonies have a queen, a single reproductive female. Dinoponera are gamergate, no morphologically distinct queen. A dominant worker female becomes the breeder. She earns it through ritualistic dominance battles, constantly asserting her status over her sisters. These ants are solitary hunters, much like the bulldog ant, but even bigger. They forage alone on the forest floor, using size and a powerful sting to take down prey, spiders, crickets, small lizards. Their sting is extremely painful, though not as infamous as the bullet ants. Still, it packs a serious punch, deters predators and subdues prey. Apex predators of the leaf litter. Their nests are surprisingly simple. Shallow burrows in soil, often with just a few chambers. Colonies are small, usually less than 100 individuals. Contrast that with sprawling cities of other ants. Instead of numbers, Dinoponera relies on size, strength, and power. Dinoponera gigantea takes the number 1 spot, biggest and rule-breaking. Unique social structure, solitary hunter, and individual powerhouses. A terrible giant ant, a titan of the Amazon, and our reigning champion. And that's a wrap on the top 5 biggest ants in the world. From the wood-chewing Hercules ant to the queenless colossal giant Amazonian ant, it's incredible to see their diversity and scale. These aren't just pests, master engineers, fierce hunters, complex societies living right under our feet. It really puts into perspective how much amazing stuff we're missing. Next time you see an ant, you might have newfound respect for its larger cousins. For me, the most surprising was the bulldog ant's vision. An ant that doesn't just bump into things, but actively sees and hunts you is terrifying and incredibly cool. It completely changes my mental image of an ant. Each giant has adapted to thrive through brute strength, a terrifying sting, or a complex social order. It's a great reminder there's always more to learn. Thanks for watching. Which giant ant surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing countdowns. We had a ton of fun digging into the world of these giant insects, and we've got plenty more wild science and engineering stories coming your way. We'll see you in the next video.